Hello, everybody, and welcome to a little indie game that I happen to really enjoy called Crystal Project. Uh, if you are a fan of classic old school Final Fantasy games, especially the job based ones like 3, 5, and Tactics, you'll probably feel right at home here. Now, I'm going to be doing this not necessarily to show off how awesome or amazing I am. I'm just doing this to show off the game because I like this game. And so we're gonna be doing a new game, and we're gonna be putting it on easy mode simply for convenience. Now then, there will be a party set up, and a shout out to the EAC crew. Uh, who will recognize the names I'm going to be using. So, first, we have our protag Kun, whose name will be, okay, apparently keyboard is disabled, so we'll just input it this way. Matt. Now, Matt is a warrior, or at least he will be for the vast majority of the game. However, we are actually going to start him off as monk for one very specific reason. We'll get into that in a moment. Our second member is going to be a melee DPS character, and her name will be Kiki. And she will start off as a rogue. Member number 3 is going to be our healer. Also, there is a slight boost difference between male and female. Males get slightly better max HP, healing power, and luck, whereas females get slightly better max magic points, accuracy, evasion, and speed. So, our resident healer's name is going to be named Cannoli. Last, and certainly not least, is going to be our blaster caster, the boomstick herself, who will be starting off actually as a warlock instead of a wizard. We'll get to wizard, don't worry, but we're starting off in warlock. And this is the one, the only Raven. And actually, instead of starting off as cleric, the healer will also start off as a warlock. So that's going to be our starting party. But 3 of those characters will be changing classes at some point. Well, all of them will technically be changing classes over the course of the game, but Matt in particular will be changing out very rapidly. So, the biggest difference between these difficulties is just numbers. However, on hard difficulty, enemies that have AoEs will be more inclined to use those AoEs, whereas on easy they will be less inclined to do AoE attacks. But most bosses tend to be fairly scripted so that their patterns are pretty easy to spot. So, not really that huge a difference. But, you know, we're just showing off the game. We're not showing off how awesome we are. I seek adventure, but I don't seek to have it handed to me. Adventure is about not knowing what troubles will come, and not knowing how to overcome them. If the right path is always clear, and the possibility of failure is absent, is it really adventure at all? That's an excellent question, and the question the dev asked of himself when he first made this game. Hello there, lad. It fills me with joy to see that you have joined us in the land of Sequoia. I assume that you've come seeking adventure? Well, naturally, you've come to the right place, but you look positively famished. and as if you're about to dry up and blow away, I invite you to come pay a visit to our lodge for a big helping of stew. There is nothing like a hearty bowl of stew for an empty stomach. Oh, right, the lodge. Just follow the path until you're there. You can't miss it. However, what you can miss, well, not really miss, you can backtrack just about anywhere, but going off the beaten path is a thing this game strongly encourages. Also, thinking outside the box with respect to platforming is a major theme of this game. As you can see, I'm already up here, and then I can jump over here, come back around on this back ledge, and now I'm up here where this chest is, where I found a stout shield, which Matt will definitely appreciate once he becomes his fighter class, where he's honestly probably going to end up being fighter for most of the game. And we acquired a black squirrel, one of 3. We'll get into that a little bit later. That's basically for a side quest. It's not really that critical, but, you know. This game has a lot of secrets and a lot of side quests and a lot of places where you can sequence break. Sequence breaks are not only allowed, they are strongly encouraged in this game. Don't forget to stop and smell the roses along the way. You'll never know what you'll discover. And yeah, you can even ride on people like this. And use them as platforms, etc. You don't love one child more. You just love your children differently. As a parent, strongly agree. Oh, right. One thing I do want to do. Under more options, there is a thing called assist options. It can make certain aspects of the game easier or just less time consuming. You're encouraged to give this game a try before trying it, but if something is just not for you, that's okay. Feel free to make adjustments. Now, there's a reason we're doing this. You see, especially the LXP, rather than the regular XP, we really want. That's your AP, basically. That's your skill grinding, as opposed to your level grinding. And I really want that up, just to be able to do that a little bit faster. The only difference really is, you know, me not having to spend an extra half an hour off-camera grinding to be able to get the skills that I want, because that's boring, and we're not going to do that to you. We will do extended timers and mini-games, because the platforming in this game can be butts at times, and just giving me more time is more better, because my reflexes aren't what they used to be back when I was 12. Skipping minigames is optional, but now it is an option. And perhaps the most important thing of these options is enhanced home point. Basically, instead of just having 1 home point, you can have up to 3. That just gives you more fast travel options, which can be useful but not critical. Here's where we are introduced to the combat system. That is a flame. That is basically an encounter. And as you can see, one monster, not that difficult. You can dodge the flames. That's how you actually get out of combat. Running, you'll notice, was not an option in those menus. Yeah, we must pause to take in the beauty around us. So, let's do that, shall we? So, again, we can start platforming and sequence breaking just a little bit. There's another one of those squirrels up here. But yeah, I don't want to spend the time needed to do that. Acquired a secret herb. Now, this particular fellow, only a summoner may challenge the deity of fire. That is one of the summons that you will need to do. This is more like Final Fantasy X style summons, or even really 4, because you have to challenge the summons before you're permitted to summon them. So that's interesting. And they are also once per encounter, but they're fairly powerful and can basically end an encounter by themselves, or at least trivialize an encounter. Now, you'll notice at the bottom, there's the action wheel, the turn wheel, of when people are going. You can also press right, and you'll get what they're going to do. They're going to both just do a regular attack. And if you press left, you can see their stat block. And if they had any passives, that would be found there as well. So we have leveled up, and we have gotten 1 LP. So now we're going to go learn. So Raven, who is our blaster, is going to learn her first damaging spell, Blaze. So why are both my healer and my damage dealer basically red mages? I mean, let's call it what it is. It's a red mage. It has both healing and nuking. So why are we doing this? Well, it's down here. There is this, which is Refresher. 6 MP healing per turn. You'll notice Blaze is only 5 MP. The heal is only 5 MP. The remedy, which removes debuffs, is only 5 MP. That's just too good to pass up for anyone doing any kind of casting. So for her, she's not really going blaster, so let's pick up remedy for her, which will allow her to remove a debuff. Because debuffs can be really, really nasty in this game. So, KK, there's backstab, single target, dagger rapier skill, always misses the target if you are not the bottom threat. So, Rogue really needs to manage their aggro. This is going to be a key central mechanic in being effective as a rogue. So here's this one, Shadow Cut. Generates no threat. Target cannot counter, which will be important later on. Always misses if you are not the target's bottom threat. But you'll notice it does a lot less damage than Backstab does. But it also does not cost AP. AP, you gain in the middle of combat. It's basically a limit break style. Every time you attack or are attacked, you gain AP. So this is how you can build AP without generating threat. But if you just want to one-shot something and it's able to be one-shot, that can be situationally useful. We're going to go with Shadow Cut, though. What we really want is this passive here, Backstabber. 20% more physical damage if you are the target's bottom threat. Well, considering most of the class is effectively useless if you're not the bottom threat, that's basically a passive that says 20% more damage, please. So now we go to the monk. And we want this, counter physical damage, because if he's going to be the tank, and if he is going to be the one that is designated to take hits, punishing people for hitting him sounds like a really good idea. So that is what we're going to be focusing exclusively on, and then we will be changing out of the monk class. Monk is an interesting class, don't get me wrong, but for the purposes of this playthrough, I'm really not going to lean into it that much. Be nice to people on the way up, as you will meet them on the way down. Yeah. That's actually kind of really good life advice there. And as you can see, we have found yet another a burglar's glove. Chance to steal is increased by 15%. We will throw that immediately on the rogue. One does not need to wander so far off the beaten path to discover new wonders. Okay, but it sure doesn't hurt. So here's another flame we will be attacking, because we actually do kind of want things. Now this wisp is preemptively going to be casting Cure. We really don't want that going off. Goodbye. Good day, sir. Yay, another LP. So now Matt will learn this, Earth Split, which is an AoE. And next we'll be saving up for Counter. Kiki, let's go ahead and save up for Sneak Attack, because that does the same damage as Backstab. A little bit more AP, but again, generates no threat, so you can continue doing this whole Sneak Attack thing that she will be doing for the first section of this game. Cannoli, we're actually going to go ahead and get Scan. We're going to go straight down for Refresher, and then backtrack to Regenerator. For Raven, we are also going to go down to Refresher, and then we're going to be going in over here to these skills. Now the beatdown, unfortunately, is 12 AP, but he still does enough damage with his bare hands to kill it. And another level up and more AP get. So Kiki will now get Sneak Attack. That's going to be kind of her finisher. She'll build up AP with Shadow Cut and then use it for Sneak Attack to do some damage. That's going to be her early game combo, so to speak. So here we are at Nan's hut. Old Nan's watering hole. Yeah. So we will go ahead and save. And you'll notice that I was playing previously on these people. There we go. We'll just completely overwrite that. And hey, we have acquired the map for Spawning Meadows, and we've put a mini-map in our bottom corner. Yeah, and you notice that anywhere we've already explored is on our map. Anything we haven't isn't. And so we've got tutorials, we've got a couple of vendors, newbie equipment, acquired a Nan stool, one for free. You'll notice a maximum capacity. Consumables in this game will have a maximum capacity, but some consumables you will have a way of increasing that capacity as you progress. And then, of course, Nan's secret recipe requires a secret herb, a secret veggie, and a secret meat. And will multi-target restore 100% missing MP. That's actually really awesome. Maximum capacity of 1, obviously. So we'll need to find the veggie and the meat, and we will be able to make one of those. And then this is going to be our inn if we were hurt, which fortunately we are not. That would be a place to visit to heal up and restore. Since we do not need to do so, however, Let's just continue on a little bit and do some more exploring in the immediate vicinity. A cedar wand. Attack and mind. Well, that's going to resistance pierce, so that will pierce enemies' magic resistance, so that's going to be something we want our caster to use, and the mind stat also increases the damage your spells do, or at least any spells that work on mind, which is most of them. You have the difference between mind and will. Mind is going to be basically blasting, and for the most part, heal will be, heals will be figured by will. There are exceptions to that in this game, obviously, but that's the general rule of thumb that this game goes with. Now, there is a way to jump from treetop to treetop and get over there. I don't remember what that is off of the top of my head, and, well, let's not sequence break too much. Like, there's a way to jump over there and actually completely bypass the entire next section. You could actually, there's a speedrun strat where you could just sequence break your way to the central hub town and just skip the entire first 3 sections. We're not going to do that. We're going to be playing this game mostly as intended. There will be some sequence breaks that I will show off, but for the most part, we're going to try and play this legitimately. There will be one major sequence break that I'll point out when we get to it, but that's really only to be able to gain early access to a class that I happen to really like. Acquired an iron sword. Hey, once Matt becomes a fighter, that'll be useful. Hi, I'm Astley. Are you new here to the land of Sequoia? You look like you just arrived, so what made you decide to come? Everyone who comes here is looking for something, so what is it you're after? Crystals or adventure? Let's talk about adventure. Well, I think you've come to the right place. Lots of folk come here seeking adventure. Just be careful of some weirdos who might get on your case if you don't go find crystals every now and then. Which reminds me, you should have this homestone. I think you'll find it'll come in handy. You can use a homestone as many times as you want, whenever you want, to teleport back to your current home point. Don't forget you have it, and set it to your favorites menu while you're at it. I'm sure I'll see you around. I'm sure you will. He will be she will be a recurring character. Now then. We're actually going to unfavorite the tonics, which are a basic heal potion, and we will go ahead and favorite the homestone button. That way we can push one button on my controller and immediately have access to our homestone, which is kind of cool. Acquired a tonic. Yay. And as you can see, you can juke these flames, and they will eventually give up. Like that, and so you can take off if you want to. I actually need these fights because I'm wanting to get my skills up. A nut muncher and a carrot, as in a parrot, but it's a carrot. Okay. Well, that guy's dead. And this thing is going to peck, which is a single target basic attack. It does some pretty decent damage. We're gonna draw aggro here by attacking. Fortunately, it missed our tank. And it will not have an opportunity to try again. So, regen, which, you know, healing, percentage healing per turn, really nice spell. And there's refresh, which is a buff that does that MP healing every turn for 6. but it costs 12 magic to cast, so it needs to be there for at least 2 turns just to break even. The other 2 turns are just kind of free if you last 4 turns. We'll hold off on that. She wants 2 more AP to be able to get her Backstabber passive, and he needs 1 more to get his counter passive, and then he's going to do a job change. Now, over here, we're doing a little bit of a side thing here. This might get interesting. Ooh, that hurt. So he's down. We're gonna cast Remedy on our tank. That'll get rid of the burn as well as heal up most of that damage. Now you see why that's so important. Now we do have Earth Split, which will do a lot of damage. However, you'll notice these carries are flying. Take 20% more fire damage, which is why that blaze spell was so effective, but evade all earth elemental abilities. So this actually won't hurt anyone. However, this will. And in fact, that might actually kill this in 1 hit. If we're lucky, we are not lucky, but it will draw aggro. Now we're gonna go ahead and heal up our tank. There we go. Not too terribly shabby, but you are seeing that they are starting to get a little bit more concerning, and this is on easy difficulty, so... yeah. This game has a difficulty curve to it. Acquired $20. You can't quite jump up there. Ah, yes, that's how we go about doing this. Sometimes you have to go around. Now here's another fight. We'll go ahead and take it. Ooh. Yeah, let's finish him off. But now he's got counter. We do kind of want to get him set up. We don't really want him to be a monk anymore. But we're really kind of in an awkward place. You can only do class changes at a save crystal. So we're gonna have to just continue on for a bit, but we're about to get to another save point. We are gonna have to kind of come around here, and then around here, jump onto this tree, and around. Hey, a protection amulet. Armor up for first 2 turns, take less physical damage. That sounds like a fantastic thing for our tank to be equipped with, don't you think? And hey, it's Ashley again. A tonic pouch. You remember how I said that there was a way to increase your capacity for your consumables? These pouches are how we do that. If you're looking for a crystal, I hear there's one in a cave to the east of here. Entity hint. So, class change, Matt. You are now a warrior. Equip that iron sword and the stout shield we found. We don't have a helmet or armor for him. We're gonna have to do that. But he gets to keep his counter passive. So that's gonna be really useful for him for a very long time. Fish Getter! On hit, inflict bleed for 1 turn. We're going to grab one. And that's going on Kiki, because not only does it do a lot more damage, like twice as much damage, and have extra crit damage, it also does the bleed passive. So that's going to be extraordinarily useful for her. Now, I could buy the map. I'm actually not going to. You'll see why in a bit. Now, I could buy this fresh salmon. And actually, I will do that because of a quest I get later on. Now, I'm out of money. I can't really afford anything else. Yeah, they're talking about threat management. We'll go into that as well a little bit more later. But basically, threat is going to be really important. Right up to the point that everybody just does AoE attacks. And at which point it becomes less really effective. If they're only doing AoEs, then threat is less necessary. There is that red mage back there. He's gonna want to fish, but we will need that old rod you saw in the shop, plus some kind of bait that we don't have yet. So we're not gonna be able to do that just yet. So Ashley said off to the east here there's going to be something, but under here, a cotton hood. Going to equip that on our damage caster. It does give defense, resistance, which is magic defense basically, mind and spirit. Yeah, mind is going to be for blasting, spirit is for healing. It's just a generally good piece of all-purpose caster gear. Now, there are other chests around here like that one that you can find and you can do stuff. Tinctures. As with most of these types of games, a tincture does help restore mana, as you would expect. But we're gonna go ahead and just kind of continue on right now. The episode is already starting to run a little long, especially for kind of a first episode. I'm gonna try and keep these down to about a half an hour to 45 minutes. So, here we go. Now, that was a crit, and that actually dropped it down to 2 hit points, but because of the bleed effect, that's actually going to end up killing it from the dot at the beginning of its turn. There we go. And then we finish that off. And hey presto, KK now has the backstabber. Matt has gotten his first warrior skill, so we could go into berserker stance or defender stance. There's also equip sword, which enables the equipping of a sword regardless of your current class. Equip axe, which again, power break and armor break are the two important ones. Deal 35% less physical damage, take 35% more physical damage. These two skills are going to be enormously useful throughout the entire game. These 35% less or more skills in most games are just kind of meh. They're filler. In this game, they are truly critical in formulating your tactics, especially on higher level difficulties. It can turn a deadly fight into an absolutely trivial one. So we'll go ahead and grab this, and then in another 3 points, both of our casters will have Refresher. And then they will be able to start focusing on their specialty more. So we just saw our good friend Astley go that direction, so let's go ahead and also head that direction. Acquired 15 copper. Hi, I'm Chloe. I came to the land of Sequoia to make friends. Maybe you'll be one of them. Hey, named NPC. We'll probably run into her again at some point. Ah, a Fervor Charm. +1 AP when using a basic attack. Now, Kiki is almost never going to use a basic attack, so we'll put that on our tank for now. It's actually not that relevant. We do want to buy some armor. We don't quite have enough. We might want to sell that Fervor Ring, actually. It's not that bad. To sell. I mean, we don't really need it. Well, I suppose we could sell this dirk and this rapier. And the leather outfit. And now we can buy ring mail for our tank, because he has no armor whatsoever, and that is not good. There we go. 42 defense, 10 resistance. Alright, and then here's our healer, who actually charges for her services. Fair enough. We'll go ahead and save here, and we're going to call the episode here. We did not save the watering. Oh boy, the fishing hole, we didn't save that. That's going to be kind of a problem. Has it really only been 15 minutes? Wow. Okay, let's keep going then. Oh wait, no. It has been 30 minutes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and call this episode here. Stay tuned for next time, where we will explore this cave and maybe find that crystal Astley was telling us about. Until then, this is Sneaky the Lost, signing off.